This is like attempt number 3 or something. So hopefully this goes well. Hopefully we're finding something that's working. Because I think I set this up correctly. At least I hope so. If not, then yeah. Okay. All right. I like this. Alrighty. Third time is the charm. Wow. Okay, so holy poop. Okay, third time's the charm. This is wow. Okay, sorry. Welcome. No one is watching right now because I've failed to. You know what? I don't know what the deal is, but like, hopefully I can get some eyeballs in here because I've been trying all day, but nothing's really kind of come up, you know. So if anyone is in here, welcome. I don't think anyone is, but that could be just me. I don't think anyone is. So I'm just going to try and spread the word a little bit, you know, get a couple people in here, So first we post to the old Facebook, you know, type in that PGP is live. Is live, you know, come hang. There we go. We type that into one group and then we hit send. And then we go type into another group, we hit send, and then that's how we do it here. So we're just going to take a couple seconds just to do that, you know, just because I kind of want to get some eyeballs in here. Because I do have a lot to talk about today. Like, for the first episode, I do have a lot of stuff to talk about. And there's a couple doozies in here. So, you know, I just kind of want to get some eyeballs in here. If no one ends up showing up, then that's fine with me, man. I can just release this as a giant video, which either way works for me, but I'd like to have a live discussion, which obviously is what this is like about, because this is a live show. If I just wanted to do a video of me talking, I could have just done a video of me talking with a camera, and then next thing you know, that's the video we get. But there's something just about the live atmosphere that I just really enjoy. I really enjoy live. I enjoy being live. I just enjoy the whole live environment. It's kind of just what I like to do. I enjoy just talking live. It's great. I love it. I even bought this fancy like headset so I can do it here. You're going to hear a lot of rumbling and everyone's going to hate me, but I'm sorry. I'm just trying to learn, you know, just trying to learn. Let me tell you one thing. The sidebar before we get into any like crazy gaming talk. It is boiling in this room. Like, it's boiling. I'm not even kidding when I say it is like 5,827 degrees in here. It is stupidly warm. I am not even joking. It is dumb warm in here. And it's Canada. You think Canada is notorious with like ice and snow and like polar bears and, oh, you know, good old Canadian hockey. Yeah, you know, we like to play hockey. But no, man, in the summer, it gets like so warm, like ridiculously warm. I'm not even joking. It is insanely warm right now, right now, right this second. It's boiling. I'm not even joking. It is insanely boiling in here. But you know what I actually should do? I guess I should post this on the Arcade Regiment Facebook page like a smart person would. That would be a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and also just type that there right now. Cut and paste, because that's what I do. You know, that's what I like to do. I like to just cut and paste. You know, if it makes my life easier, then I'm all for it. I am all for it 1,000,000%. And then lastly, I'm just going to put it on the good old Twitter. Oh, I guess I should, use that. And then, oh, that's weird. Do I have to put the @ in front? Because that would just be hilarious. Okay, well, this is making life a hell of a lot interesting. That's fine. That's fine. Guess I can't take the shortcut that way, but thankfully we have cell phones. Sonic fan, it is hot as balls outside, man. You live in California. I don't know how you're not dead. I would just be dripping, dying right now. I would be so, like, just boiling. I'm, like, dead. That's how I'd feel right now. Because that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm getting cooked. Literally alive. I feel like I'm getting cooked. So I'm going to promote this one last quick time here. And then after that, it's game on. The show's going to start. All right. Now that I've done that, there we go. I've put it, pause. I put the little live notification and everything. All right. So that's what we're doing. We're live now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the PGB. Holy crap. That is almost impossible to say. The Producer Guy Broadcast, where I'm your host, Producer Guy Phil, and we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff today, man. Like, we have a bunch of stuff lined up and ready to go. Straight up, man. A lot of cool stuff ready to go. Lots of topics today. I'm a man about topics. I love having things to talk about, and I love going to depth about them. A live show gives me the opportunity to do both, and that's amazing. I love having the opportunity to just go and do both. So we're going to do that right now. So first, I want to talk about this. Why am I doing a live show, and why am I not basically making a mini channel update video? Because I teased it. I said, hey, if you come to the stream, it's going to be like a channel update video as well. Why have I decided to do a stream as opposed to a video? Good question. So when trying to do a video about channel updates and different things like that, it's really kind of hard to get everything in as I'm going. Because when I do like some videos like that, I like to have a lot of that stuff scripted. So I know what I'm going to say and things like that. But there's 9 times out of 10 where I'll film something, edit it, and then I'll watch it back and be like, oh, man, I should have added this in here as to what's going on. And then all of a sudden now I'm with a video that is missing a huge point and I can't do anything about it, or else I have to reshoot the goddamn video, right? So that's a big thing why I just like doing the live settings. So a big reason as to why I'm doing live show now is because I've actually am not in my own apartment anymore. That's a big thing. A lot of my friends who live up in this area, they know I used to have a place on Baylon Drive, 38 Baylon Drive. I'm not there anymore, which is why I can give out that address. I used to have a place there, and it's where I did all my videos. It's where I had my green screen set up. It's where I had my wall set up in my room where like all my early videos were like shot. And I'm not there anymore. The lease ran out, and I had to move back in with my parents. You know, what's the Dave mean? I had moved back in with my parents, which is fucking awesome. Like there's the Dave meme there. But I moved back in, and a lot of my stuff right now is in storage. Like my consoles and a lot of my stuff, like a lot of my clothes are in storage. I'm literally living out of a suitcase for now until I can get the space to bring everything back in. Living out of a suitcase, man, for anyone who's like a musician or anything, sucks. It flat out sucks. I'm not gonna lie. There's just not having access to like a lot of things that you're normally used to having access to really does suck, which is why I'm kind of relating this to making videos, because I don't have access to my green screen. I brought my camera with me just in case I wanted to do more things out on the road and different things like that, like the Zelda video. I can do things like that, right? But I don't want to go back to that well repeatedly over the next month and make the same kind of stagnant video like that. I'm not a fan of that kind of style. I mean, you know, what works for some people might not work for others. So that's why I'm kind of just sitting here, and I was thinking, and I was like, man, I got really burnt out in doing videos. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I got really drunk one night, and I got a message, actually. I want to give a shout out here to Retro Robbie. Retro Robbie sent me a message saying, hey, I'm doing a stream. I think he said come join if you want, or come watch. It was one of the two. I'm sorry. I'm really buzzed. I was really buzzed. Sorry, I'm not now. I'm only drinking Red Bull today. But he sent me a message saying, come join or come watch. And I was like, hey, man, I'm really drunk right now. He's like, right on. So eventually, after I had my drinks and I ended up going upstairs, I noticed the stream was still going on. And at this point in time, I'm mildly intoxicated still. And I'm like, hey, this seems like a fun time. You know, I'm going to go check it out, see what's happening. And it was Retro Robbie, Shadow the Oblivious, and someone else. I forget your name, dude. I'm sorry. I forget your name. I was really gone at the time. I'm sorry. But then I started talking, interacting with them, and they were like, hey, why don't you come join? And I'm like, all right, I'll come join. I mean, what did I have to lose? I was buzzed. And so I was on. We had a good, like, couple-hour chat about video games and just different things like that. And it was really cool. It was really fun to do that, to hang out with Shadow, hang out with Robbie, and just talk some gaming. We talked about other things, too. And it was really fun. And then afterwards, I get a message from Steve, BC Retro Gamer, also another good guy. And he said, you know, you were very entertaining in that stream tonight. You should look into doing more live stream kind of settings. And I'm like, yeah, I can make this work. I can do something with this, you know, like this is something that's right up my alley. So that's what I did. I went out and bought this fancy microphone here, which is not really fancy at all. It's just a Triton, I think, gaming microphone that can be used for whatever. And I said, you know what? Why don't I pick a day? I'll configure everything on Google Hangouts. And let's do it. Little did I know, all I had to do was just click bam on Google Hangouts, and that's it. We're already live. Like, how cool is that? I don't have any fancy, crazy layouts. I've experimented with the lower third on Google thing. I might do that. I might not. But for right now, for the first episode, I kind of wanted this just to be open, honest, you know, me to the viewers here, however many of you are. I think it says there's 6 of you. Me to the viewers, me to you right now. This is open. This is honest. I kind of want to just like talk about that. And it's really cool. I like this personal environment. So a big thing I really wanted to talk about right now is, while I have people here, I really miss not being able to make videos up to the level that I want to. Not having all this equipment stuff sucks. It really does suck. George is in the house. What's up, buddy? It really sucks not having all of this stuff here. I'd like to say that I'm a creative person. I like to do stuff creatively, and not having my gear, like my green screen here, and not having, I guess, my good like VO microphones. It's kind of, in a way, it was really depressing, like not having that stuff, because like there's just so many ideas that were floating through my head, like pick threes, PG perspectives, and now I can't do them to the level that I wanted to. Like, you know, if you ever watch my videos, you know that I have like specific backdrops behind me, which I use via the green screen to each show, because I kind of like that, because it gives each show an identity. It gives each show like its own, like when you see this show, you see this intro, and then you see, or whatever, you see this intro, and then you see this layout and things like that. It's some sort of familiarity with the videos, which I've always liked seeing that. If you're watching a TV show, like say you're watching an episode of Full House, right? And say for like 5,000 seasons, say whatever, say they're going on today, they have the same house, and then all of a sudden they change houses. It's like, you know what? To most people, that might not be a big of a deal, but for like established viewers, it's like, whoa, they moved away from like the Tanner house. Like, what happened here? Like, did I miss something? Like, of course, I'm not comparing myself to Full House, but I'm just comparing my situation to the situation of that, hey, I don't have my stuff, and I feel that it's just kind of cheap, that if I go to make videos, it's not going to look the same way as that. When it comes to doing gameplay videos in that sense, like voiceovers over top of gameplay, that stuff's the same. And I can continue still to do that, but I guess without like my intros and outros, it just doesn't feel the same. So I've just really been creatively frustrated at that point, because I don't have any of this stuff with me. And being a creative person, it's like being locked away with like nothing, and you can't do anything. But fortunately, I've been told that, hey, maybe you should try looking into live shows. And so that's what I'm doing today. That's why we have a live hangout going on here. And I'm really stoked that there's actually people in here. We got Sonic Fan, the Georges, Retro Games, Vinyl, and Beer. What's going on, man? I'm glad to see all of you making it out here. Seriously, I appreciate it. Thank you. I know it's Sunday. It's Father's Day. People might not be here. People might be doing other things, which is understandable. Or, you know what? People just might not like me. And that's a thing I've come to accept, you know. There's definitely group mentalities and stuff up here. And if you piss off one person, you might in turn piss off 3 or 4 other people, which happens. It's totally fine. I understand. I don't really care, because like I said, I'm going to do this show with or without people. If I'm sitting looking to this camera by myself for 58 hours, so be it. It wouldn't bother me Any which way, Russ Lyman's in the house. What's up, Russ? I'm glad to see you here. Cheers to everyone showing up so far. I'm glad you all can make it here. But that's just my situation. It sucks not having the gear to do all these videos, but I really feel that I have to do something. So the live show, I guess if it works for you, it works for me, then everybody wins. I hope so, because I'm going to keep doing this, because I'm not going to stop pumping out content, or else I'm really going to go insane. So while we're here, you know what? Let's get some discussion going. I got some topics here, and the first one I wanted to talk about was E3, and I want to break it down to first, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wind. First of all, that is a sick name. You got to admit, if you're seeing that, like, you compare that to like Ocarina of Time or the Wind Waker Majora's Mask, that is a sick name. Like, that'll hook me right off the top. And I love games like that, that just, they get you off the top like that. Like a name right there, sold. It's really funny too, because I keep thinking there's a touring Zelda symphony, and I think it's called Legend of Zelda, I think Symphony of the Goddesses, like the touring thing. I'm like, that could be a sick Zelda game too. And I joked that I was like, hey, if ever the well runs dry, there's your next name right there, Symphony of the Goddesses. But Breath of the Wind is really cool. I like it. Sorry, Breath of the Wild. I keep saying, I keep saying Wind because I have a Wind Waker thing on my screen. You're correct. Thank you. Breath of the Wild. My apologies. I have a Wind Waker note on my screen right now, and it's just like popping up here. But yes, Breath of the Wild. I'm excited. The art style is sick, man. I don't mind the art style. This is where people are going back and forth. I've seen people like, you know what? I really like the cel shaded kind of thing. But then there's people like, why aren't we getting a more mature, like Twilight Princess, or like the demo showed at like Space World or something, like the kind of older, like humanized Zelda? And you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it because graphics in this day and age play a huge part in gaming. The graphics are getting so good on consoles that at this point in time, it's a Zelda game. So as cool as the stories are, as cool as the graphics are, the story is what's going to drive me. The story of a Zelda game is truly what's going to drive me to play or buy this game. Of course, I'm going to buy it because it's Zelda and they have my money, regardless. But the graphics on this game, I think they look good personally. Like, as long as like something I've been saying, they compare it to Wind Waker's art style, but it does look good. I think it looks better than Wind Waker's art style. And the best thing about that is you all saw the video. At least I hope a lot of you saw the video. If not, go check it out after. But the world looks huge. The world looks so big in that game. Like, it is incredible how big that world looks. I remember them teasing, like, when they first announced it for, I guess, Zelda Wii U, that it was going to be big, like a Skyrim-like game. And I was like, Skyrim Zelda, sign me up, man. Like, take my money, because that is selling me already. I love the fact that it's a big open world, and it's kind of going back to the first Zelda. If you think about it, the first Zelda was just a huge open world. You were just thrust right into it and said, here, go. You got the story at the beginning, but it wasn't like, hey, proceed to this and do da-da-da-da-da-da to go to da-da-da-da-da to do da-da-da-da-da. No, it was boop, screen pulls up, and that was it. You're like, you're playing. That's fantastic. I freaking love that. It's kind of that it's going back to those roots, man. That is amazing. I am so excited to play this game because it looks just so phenomenal. And I guess my impressions on it is I'm sold already. And that can be attributed to two things. One, that we've been anticipating it for a while. And two, that could also be because of the fact that it's open world. And like I said, I love the first Zelda open world and things like that. And three, it's Zelda. So we're all going to have that like personal connection to it, or at least a lot of gamers are going to have that personal connection to it, that we're going to play it regardless. Like, if you think about it, whatever Mario games come out, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go try it, right? Because you have the attachment to Mario, and it has a high quality of like games. I'm trying to think of like the word here. Like, it's got a quality standard of games. like its predecessors. So when the next one comes out, you're going to play it because you've had such good memories and such good experiences with the other ones that you're going to want to play this one. And it's the same with any Zelda game, which is why, again, combine that with the open world, combine that with the fact that it looks good, and combine it with the fact that Zelda's track record speaks for itself, you're going to go play the game. If I know many of you in this room, you are going to go play the game. And that's cool, because you know what? I'm with you. The dedicated jump button, Sonic fans, is actually really neat, because it's kind of cool that if you think about it in the scheme of things, adding a jump button to a game, people would just be like, it's a video game, you're supposed to be able to jump. But for Zelda, that's kind of huge that they're now adding a dedicated jump button so that you can jump at any time. Before, you usually have to go to like the edge of a cliff or like the edge of a ridge and then just like walk over and then it'll jump for you. Having a dedicated jump button, I think might take some getting used to. I mean, just think about it. It might take a little bit of getting used to, because we're so used, like it's almost muscle memory to walk to a ridge and then it's going to automatically jump. So this might take just a little bit of time to get used to pushing the dedicated jump button anyway. I could be speaking for myself just to cover my tracks in case I, decide to stream this game and I suck at it. I might be saying that to cover my tracks, but I think muscle memory might take over for some people. And then all of a sudden you're going to have people just like falling off of ridges because they're not pressing the jump button. That's what I think anyway. I think it's going to be pretty fantastic, because the track records are good, and it's a new Zelda, so I'm stoked automatically. The NX, I don't know if I'm quite sold yet on the NX, but that's a story maybe for later or for a different day. Another thing about E3 I wanted to talk about was Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 getting like a remastered, remade for the PS4. Holy poop, man. This is exciting. I cannot believe that we're actually getting... Okay, I guess technically, if you're looking at it, it's not 3 Crash Bandicoot games, which... all right, whatever. But the fact that we're getting 1, 2, and 3, which are classics in their own right. Crash Bandicoot 1, I guess it's like iconic in a nostalgic sense, because if you love Crash Bandicoot, then you think of the first game as iconic. But, it was great for what it was. Crash Bandicoot 2 just improved on the first one, and Crash Bandicoot 3 improved on the third one. And that is just, I'm excited for this, because you're basically taking something that's been laying dormant since like 2011. So for the last 5 years, it's laid dormant, and you basically have butchered the series after, I think, which one was it? Wrath of Cortex? No, I think it was like the 4th main like installment, like Crash Team Racing, I think, and Crash Bash are kind of like spin-offs, but like the 4th in the story installment, I think, was Wrath of Cortex. You kind of veered off after that. I mean, if you guess you want to get really like technical, that would be the last solo Crash game, because you also play Twinsanity, which I love Twinsanity, by the way. Twinsanity is a fun, underrated game. And then after that, when they started replacing voice actors and things like that, that's kind of when I just said, this isn't the same anymore. I'm kind of done with this like franchise. But the fact that they're going to get the first 3 remastered is really cool. I cannot wait for them to come out. I hope that they stay faithful with all the pitfalls and everything. Or you know what? I wouldn't be mad if they took a little creative liberty. It's a new game for a new console. Like, take a little liberty. Why not? Impress people who are returning to the franchise, but show people who are new what they're getting into. And another big thing that I wanted to talk about with this is physical releases. Would you buy this game, like all 3 Crash games, if they were put on one disc as a physical release? So you're getting 1, 2, and 3 for, say, whatever an average game goes for. So if you're in America, what's it, like $69 or $59? If you're in Canada, what's it, like $69, $79, something like that? Would you pay the full price for those 3 games completely remastered? I think I would. I have such like nostalgic ties to Crash Bandicoot and the original games that I think that given the chance to get it like physically, I would definitely spend the money. But on the meantime, it's Sony. So I know Sony thinks they can get the most money if they put each game at, I don't know, completely remastered, I want to say 20 to 25 bucks. If you think about it, 20, 25 sound fair for each game. 25, 25. So like 75, I guess, for all 3 games. I hope they don't go digital, because I just don't want to, I want all 3. And if it's ends up being 80, 90 after taxes and stuff for all 3 for digital downloads, then I don't know if I'm for that. But you put it as all 3 physical, $50, bam, sold, money gone, I'm in. You put it 20, 25 for each one, it's I'll buy it, but I'm gonna begrudgingly buy it. Oh man, this is kind of expensive, and I want the physical release, because I want a case. I want to put it on my shelf and be like, man, kids, come try this game. Or I want my brother, who's 10 years old, to come play these games and see how they look stunning. Because, of course, this generation did not have the advantage of growing up with Crash Bandicoot, which is insane. They didn't have the advantage because Crash has been so dormant that no good real game has come up for Crash in the last, like I said, 5 years. If you're counting going back to Twinsanity, man, then you're getting to 8 years. And to bring an IP like that back from the dead would be pretty amazing. And if this goes well, who knows, man? If this goes well, maybe other developers and companies can look back into bringing in IPs that were once popular and giving them new life. Banjo. Sorry. Yeah, so this could be a gateway opening for other dormant IPs. How many of us have sat there and, again, kind of spiraling off here, how many of us have said that, hey, we want a new Banjo-Kazooie game? And Yooka-Laylee kind of counts, but that's fine. That's, kind of the same. I guess technically, yeah. But how many have wanted a new Spyro game, like Sonic fans saying, or an Earthworm Jim, or things like IPs like that? Conker's a big one, man. If Conker had its brand new game, that would be fantastic. Seriously, I hope that the whole Crash Bandicoot experiment of bringing it back, remastering it, opens the door for a potential new Crash story game, because that would also be really exciting to see as well. And that's what I'm thinking this is. This could be a test the water situation for Sony. Who knows, right? This could be a testing the water situation. Speaking of testing the waters, Scorpion Slayer's taking a shit right now, so he's mucking up those waters. But it's okay, buddy. I'm glad you're here, man. So that could be a great thing to see these IPs coming back. But bringing it back to Crash Bandicoot, I think it's great. I'm really excited. I hope it gets a physical release. That's all I'm saying. 50, 60 bucks, physical release, 3 games, HD. Again, take my money. I'm sold. Straight up, I'm sold. Hell, I'll even get exclusive whatever Crash things, skins, whatever. I'll buy the full collector's pack. Because my relationship to that series goes back a long way, and I would definitely do it. So the next topic I wanted to kind of talk about here is controllers. So I want to ask you guys really quickly here, what are some of your favorite controllers? I'll give you mine just right off the top. My favorite controller is the GameCube. I really like the GameCube because it fits in your hands just really nicely. When you hold a controller, you want to put it in your hands, and you want it to feel good. You want it to feel technically sound. You want it to feel well designed and well developed for your hands. And I think the GameCube controller does that. The button layout as well is also really nice because it's not spacing things too far away. It's easy to move your thumbs around on it. And for games like Super Smash Brothers and Soul Calibur 2, Mario Sunshine, Mario Strikers, basically all the Mario spin-off sports games and games like Resident Evil 4 on there, this was the perfect controller. And I will go to bat and say that the control stick on the Nintendo GameCube is the best of any controller. I will debate that till the day I die. If there's a hill I will die on that hill that the GameCube's control stick is the best of all time, because I love it. The size of it's perfect, the shape of it's perfect, and the rubber on it for me doesn't wear out as bad as the ones, say, on a 360, which I've seen those sticks take a dip sideways, and I've never really liked the DualShock, the sticks on the PS2 or the PS3. I never really liked those because if you look on them, they're completely circle, And if you look on the GameCube, it's got like an octa shape or deca shaped. It's either 8 or 10 notches, and I don't mind that. But on the flip side, I really love the PS4 controller. I am a huge fan of the PS4 controller because even though it's a circle, it feels like natural. It feels like easier to use. Like, actually, I got one right here. Perfect. I like it. Like, it's still circle, but it's not like as loose or floppy as pause. Loose or floppy is like a PS3 controller. And I love how the back of it actually is a back. And I just turned my system on. Well, that's fine. I'm going to have to shut that off later. So the PS4 controller is also really good. And the 360 one is decent as well when the sticks don't break. And that's another thing I wanted to kind of spin off and talk about here is the Georges likes the PS2 controller. I'm good. What about all of you other guys? What controllers do you like? But another thing I want to spin off and talk about is, have we reached the end of innovation for controllers? And I'll bring it back to you. So if you look at the way a controller is kind of laid out now here, so controllers nowadays always have like 2 sticks. And some have a D-pad. I think all of them have a D-pad. And an assortment of 4 buttons, a start button. I guess the touchpad, which I haven't really used too much on touch relation games. And then 2 trigger buttons. It's the same on the Wii U now, like in terms of relevancy. The only difference between all 3 Xbox, Wii U, and PS4 is that the layouts are different. I think the sticks I think this one stick on the Xbox is up here and the D-pad's down here. And then different face buttons. And then, 2 trigger buttons. The Wii U, it's 2 buttons at the top, buttons below, and then D-pad also below. Innovation when it comes to controllers has now, I think, reached a point where it's kind of stagnant. We're getting the same kind of designs on the controllers in terms of button layouts. And you know what? I have to applaud Sony for kind of doing the same thing. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You look at the PS1 to the PS2 to the PS3 to the PS4, all the controllers kind of same design with little minor tweaks. The PS3 I don't think had a back thing here, so like your thumbstick was allowed to like just go down, like repeatedly go down, and I hated that. But the PS4 I think kind of fixed it, compressed it, moved the face buttons closer together, and I think that's fine. The original Xbox, the Xbox 360, also kind of noticeable, like the original Xbox controller, and then they did a second version where it looks actually more like a 360 controller, and with the 360 controller they knocked it out of the park. One of the best designs, and it's fantastic. The Super Nintendo Retro Games Vinyl Beer is an amazing retro controller, and exactly, the PS4 controller from Modern is good. The George's least favorite is the 64, and I kind of want to talk about that also really quickly. I have to applaud Nintendo because they gave us a good form of an analog stick. Sure, the layout of the 64 controller with the 3 prongs might not have been ideal at the time, and it looks kind of like an alien-like key that you have to put into like a slot here, but it is not a well-designed controller. But you know what? I'm such a huge fan of the 64 that I guess I've gotten used to it, so I feel like I don't have any problems with the 64 controller, like, ever at all. And of course, a lot of you know that's my favorite system, so I have 0 problems with the 64 and its controller, but I can understand why people don't like it. You know, the stick is a freaking hard plastic, and then it fades out after a while. Like, there's a lot of flaws I can see in the 64, but what I applaud is it kind of made, in my opinion, it made the whole control stick gaming thing a big feature in games. We came from D-pads with other consoles, and then we started to get the control stick in 64, and then Sony started using the RetroShock analog stick, and then now you're seeing games all done with a control stick. So in terms of innovation in that aspect, I feel that the 64 did what it was setting out to do, and it did it really well. And I'm a huge fan of that. That is my favorite. But now it's like a question is, have we reached the end of innovation? I personally think that we have. We're all a part of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it generation of controllers. And for what games need to do now, it's getting the job done. But with like things like VR that come out, and now you're starting to see like 2-hand controllers and things like that. Do you think it's going to be really weird if I'm sitting here and I have earphones on and I have a controller in my hand and I have a VR thing? It's like, you know what? I don't know if I'm a fan of this. I think I want the next generation of controllers for VR to be the ones. I think that it's the Vive. I think it's either the Vive or it's the Edge. I don't think it's the Rift. The Rift gets sold with, I think, a Microsoft controller. But I think the HTC Vive is the one with the dual hand things, or whatever. There's a VR company that has the 2 hand strings, and if you're playing VR, I want something like that, so you can turn, use your hands, and things like that. Sonic Fan loves the 6-button Genesis controller. That is a staple in retro. Whenever I think like Sega and classics, I always think of that controller. For fighting games, it's just you need the 6-button controller. The Hori mini pad. I want a Hori mini pad so bad, like beyond belief. I want a Hori mini pad, like just so bad, because I do a lot of speed runs, and of course, the 64 is my favorite controller. So it basically has all the good things about a GameCube and a 64, and just went. You know, you got the giant control stick on one hand, the D-pad, and then you got all the buttons, and it's like the C buttons, and it's actually small. Like, it fits nice, and it fits comfortably in your hand. I was hoping to pick one up if ever I went to too many games, but sadly that's at the window now due to other reasons, and my hair just went fucking sideways. But maybe if I go to Retropalooza, I can see about getting one up, since, yeah, I can start to save money now, and it's great. But the Hori mini pad is definitely a fantastic controller, and if you're going to play 64, I recommend getting one of those, or one of the third-party knockoffs. But be careful, because some of those are hit and miss. Some of them are pretty decent. Some of them are just okay, and the buttons are really stiff. So take that with a grain of salt whenever you get a third-party one that looks like a 64, because I've had some that are fantastic, and there's some out there that are just kind of eh. So just be careful about that. Thank you, Scorpion Slayer. I'm glad someone agrees that the gaming controller is the best controller of all time. See? I knew I wasn't crazy, guys. PGP, I hope your birthday was awesome. Thanks, man. You know what? It was a pretty fun birthday. I was just getting over stomach flu, and I got to hang out with some friends, play some board games, and that was fun. I love just chilling at home playing some board games. So now I kind of hit all 3 topics that I wanted to hit today. So I'm kind of down if people want to talk. If anyone has like, I really hate saying this because I don't want to sound pretentious and douchey, but if anyone has questions or like suggestions of topics they want to hear talked about, I mean, I'm completely down. Like, that's the point of this stream. Is this stream isn't one for me to like feed my ego and be like, hey, I'm a big YouTube star, you all need to hear what I have to say. Ho ho ho. Like, no, I definitely don't think that, and I hate people that think like that. I hate people that think that their voice is so important that it has like an influence, and that people have to hear what you have to say. That is like my number one pet peeve, is people who, you know what? It's great to have confidence. You can be confident, man. But the second you want to put yourself above others is when I have a problem. I don't like people who hold themselves in a regard that they are better than others. That I feel is just too pretentious, and I hate that. Like, people go on YouTube, it's like, I'm a big YouTube star. I need millions of people to watch. Well, I need people to watch my videos and ask me questions because I'm so important, and I need to give them answers. You know, I don't know why I think of them in like a southern drawl kind of thing, but like people like that, I'm not a fan of it, man. I always have stated that I just want to be one of the guys, man. I want to be someone who can just talk to anybody and everyone, you know, because we're all on equal like footing. That's why I hate the term fans. I hate people. It's like, oh yeah, these are my fans. They're so good. Yeah, they do so well. They're fans. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't really like the term fans because it feels like the person with said fans is on like a different level of people, and I don't like that, man. To me, if you like my stuff, you're not a fan. You're a friend. We're all friends. We all do this thing for love. We do this thing for like, it's our passion to create videos and talk about games. So why is there levels? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why there's levels and why there should be levels, or why that people put these imaginary borders between people. Like, for example, I'm good friends with a lot of people. Okay. I'm good friends with a lot of people, and some of my friends on here, they're very big. I wouldn't say like very big, but if you were to look at them, they're pretty popular on YouTube. DJ, they got 25,000 subscribers, and you know what? Those guys they're really cool. They're my good friends. Dave's giving me advice and like editing stuff. He's been in a couple of my episodes. D's also a really good guy. I chat with him all the time. 25K, and they're still the same dudes I've known before they even had like 1,000 subscribers. They didn't change. They're great people. Sean Long, Retro Gaming 285. Guy's been blowing up, man. I remember I first like really got to meet him on a Gaming Central podcast back when he had, I think, just over 1K in subs. Now he's hitting almost 10K. Like, people like these are great people because they've never changed. They've stayed who they are the entire time that I've known them. And to them, it's just they're people who love video games making videos. And that's truly awesome. The fact that they stuck with their guns and they stuck with their beliefs and that they're still doing this because they love doing it. Not because they're, oh, I'm a self-important people, hear what I got to say about video games, so I'm going to go do it right now. Ha, ha, ha. I know people like to see what I have to say. They do it because they love doing it. And you can really see that with their subscriber growth because they're personable people. And people like people who are just legitimate people. I know I said people a bunch of times, but follow along with me. I like watching someone who's just a human being that I could basically run into in the street. And if they saw me wearing a shirt, like a Zelda shirt or whatever, they'd be like, hey, man, nice shirt. And then we just talk about like Zelda and other things like that. That's what I love, people who do videos who are personable. I know a lot of people in here in this chat are personable. Sonic Fan, Jared, Scorpion Slayer, Richard Gates Vinyl Beer, the Georges, other people I know are just personable people. And they do videos for the love of making videos. And that's why, you know, I just kind of gets me frustrated when I see people who are just, like, getting big on YouTube, but they're starting to get a big head and they're starting to get an ego. And it's good to have, it's, you know what, I'll say this, it's good to have an ego because it's good to have confidence in yourself and be like, hey, you know, I'm doing something with my life. I'm doing something good with my life. I'm making videos and people are enjoying them. But it's something different to go beyond that point and be like, people are enjoying this. They will watch anything I put up. How can I exploit this? How can I get money off this? And you know what? Making money doing something you love is great. Making money by exploiting people isn't cool. I don't like that. So that's why I've seen a lot of people change over the last year, man. I've seen a lot of people start as someone I knew, and then they've just morphed because success has got to them. Because now they think that since they're doing so well, they've gotten an ego and they can afford to do bigger things. Which, you know what? If you're a person doing videos and you got to that point where you have thousands of thousands, you know, I applaud you, man. Well done. I applaud you. You've done things that very few people have started to do. But when you change and become an asshole about this whole entire thing, that's when I draw the line, man. Because people like that who are abandoning everything they've known and abandoning where they came from, they're going to have nothing if it all crashes down, man. You have nowhere to go back to. That's why people like Richard Gaming 285 and D-Dave, they're great people. Because you know why? They've never forgotten where they've came from. They've never forgotten who they are. They've never forgotten where they came from. They're still the same people I can message to be like, hey, what should I do with this? Or, hey, how are you guys doing? They're the same people. And that's fantastic. I love people who do that. But now let's go with actually the question at hand. Some of your favorite Genesis games of all time. Really good question, man. I love that question. I got to start with Sonic 2. Sonic 2 is probably my favorite Genesis game ever. I used to play it at my aunt's house every Thanksgiving or every Christmas that we would have there. It was the first and like one of only few times that I ever truly got to play Genesis, and I enjoyed every second of it. Seriously, I loved playing Sonic 2. And of course, that introduced me to the Chemical Plant Zone music, and a Chemical Plant Zone is just phenomenal. I freaking love the Chemical Plant Zone music. It is like fantastic. And so I always treasured those two because I always loved, you know, the environment to go and playing with like all my cousins. And again, I don't really want to, I don't want to speak a little bit too highly, but you know, I was the best out of all my cousins playing video games, and maybe that's why, you know, they all just let me keep playing. But another couple ones I really liked was Comic Zone. Comic Zone's a fun one. If you got the chance to go pick that up, I'd say definitely go pick that up because it's fantastic. Another one I also really enjoyed was NHL 94 on the Genesis. I love the SNES one, but the Genesis one was also really fantastic. Actually, any hockey game on the Genesis was great. Another decent one that I liked on the Genesis. What was another good one? Oh, what was one I used to play? I played the Page Master a lot. I don't remember too much about it. I think I liked it because I played it a lot, but I enjoyed that one a ton. The Page Master. I never saw the movie. I think it was based off a movie, right? Like, someone please tell me it was on a movie. Because if not, it was just a game, then I'm gonna feel like an idiot. I think it was a movie, right? But yeah, you know what? Those are some of my favorite Genesis games. They're classics in their own right, and really, really good system, Sega Genesis. I didn't have it growing up, so whenever I got to play it at my aunt's place, was always pretty fantastic, and it was always good to do. It was a movie. Thank you, Sonic fan. I'm glad. Now I feel good. I feel good that we could confirm this. That we could confirm that it was a movie. Okay, excellent. Does anybody else have any other questions here? Let's. I mean, I got some time here. I mean, I could always call it. It's almost been an hour. You know, I don't want these to go too long, but now you can kind of see that the environment that I want to have. You know, I like having topics that we can all talk about here, and everyone can give their opinion. Then we can just go off of that. You know, I had 3 topics, and then we got a discussion. So I want to ask you guys a question here. Do you think this is a good format? Is there anything else that maybe we can introduce here? Anything else we can do? Don't get me wrong. This is not going to be a solo show. Like, every week, it might not be a solo show. I might have guests literally pop on in the middle of a stream. Like, I might have guests just pop on randomly just because. So this won't be me by myself. I'm going to have other people on and stuff like that. But I think that this is kind of a good format that works. 3 topics, and then we hang out. This is why. We hang out, man. That's like, I don't want to be one of those pretentious people like, yes, all my viewers must ask me questions because I'm self-important. Everyone needs to talk to me, ask me questions. No, because I want to talk with you guys. You guys are my friends. Everyone in here, I think I pretty much know. And you're all my friends. So I love having discussions with you guys. So I think this works out, but definitely let me know. Truffle Shuffle is always pretty good. Although I'm starting to lose my belly. After getting really sick, I started to lose my belly. And anyone who references the Goonies is pretty fantastic. So well done, Scorpion Slayer. But George wants to know, what's my most wanted game? Oh, Balloon Fight. I freaking want Balloon Fight like so badly. I've wanted Balloon Fight. I've talked about this now for maybe a year and a half, and I still have not found Balloon Fight. Like, I got to play it like via emulation when my old roommate's Wii, when we hacked our Wii. But now that I don't have that anymore and I don't have the goddamn game, it's still a bummer, man. I really want that goddamn game, like, so badly. It's never in shops here. Like, it's never in any shops here. And people have linked me online, but I never have money to get it online. Like, I don't have a credit card because those things will kill you, man. Seriously. But that is probably the game that I like want the most. So badly. I want that game so badly. All right, you know, let's do a couple more questions. If you guys got a couple more questions or discussions, not even questions, they don't even be questions for me. Let's just have discussion. We can discuss about things. So let's get a couple more and then we'll call her a night. All right. Another one from Sonic Fan, non-gaming, which is cool. You know, we're done to do a couple non-gamings. Will you be watching Money in the Bank later tonight? Yes, I definitely will. There's a lot of good matches in the card I want to see tonight. I want to see AJ versus John Cena. I'm Team Styles all the way. The Money in the Bank ladder match is going to be interesting. I'm hoping Kevin Owens walks out with the briefcase. But I feel like it's going to be someone stupid like Del Rio or something. I hope 4 to the 5 people in that match, or 4 to the 6 people, I wouldn't mind walking out with that briefcase, but you know, that's fine. And of course, Seth versus Roman. I think Roman's going to win, but I'm Team Rollins all the way. Straight up. I'm Team Rollins all the way. What's for dinner, says Russ Lyman. Russ Lyman, what's for dinner? I think I got steak or something downstairs. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm really excited to have some steak. I'm pretty hungry, actually. So I'm excited, you know. Stepdad cooked up some steaks, even though I offered to, you know, buy us dinner because it's Father's Day after all. I offered to buy us dinner, but he ended up making some steaks. And hey, I'm not one to complain about some steaks. You know, I like steaks. I like steaks. They're good. Steaks are good. If I could, I'd get you Mega Man X2 for the SNES. Mega Man X2 for the SNES. If you could, that would be fantastic. So please, hey, feel free. Yeah, if you just want to give me games, that's fine, people. I'm down for that. Like, if anyone has Balloon Fight, you know, just want to send it my way, I'm cool with that. I'm just saying, you know. I'm 100% down for that. All right, let's do 2 more discussion things. Let's talk about, and let's do 2 more. 2 more, and then we'll call our day. We'll wrap it on up here because, you know, it's 7 o'clock. I gotta take a shower because it's fucking boiling hot in here. I've been sweating for the last 30 minutes. So let's do 2 more. And then we will call it a night. By the way, Red Bull, really underrated. I didn't know we had some. Then I saw some in our fridge, and I was like, you know what? Not bad. I'm a Rockstar guy normally, but when you got Red Bull, hey, whatever's in the fridge, you take it. Although sidebar, living at your parents' place, it's pretty decent. You don't have to buy groceries. It's pretty fantastic. And rent-free is the best. Favorite rare game. Thank you. I was just about to I'm like, wait, favorite rare game is the one that's really rare that I want to buy, or like favorite rare game as in like the company Rareware. My favorite Rareware game should be pretty obvious if you know me. It's also my favorite 64 game, and it's also my favorite game of all time, which is Banjo-Kazooie. I can go on for so long about that game. Coming in after Mario 64, I think it took that whole mechanic of collecting and just improved on it. My favorite thing about that game that I liked above Mario 64 is that it gave you the feeling that you were legitimately progressing through the game, because you kept going up and up and up and up in Grunty's tower, like Gruntilda's tower, which is my favorite thing about that game, is that it made you feel like you were progressing. And the fact that once you got further to like the next world, it's like, oh my God, I made it here. And it's like, how many notes do I need? It's like, oh, I need like 600 notes. Now I got to go get them in these worlds. And it's like, you kept feeling motivated to keep playing more because you were making such serious progress. And that was really freaking cool as well. The fact that you were making so much progress, and it's like, oh man, I got to keep going. I mean, like, what's above this? Am I almost at the end? I'm doing so well. Like, how much further till like I'm done? I'm almost at like 100%. Like, it was the game that kept you motivated to keep playing it. Like, even if you got stuck, like, it kept motivating you to go play it here. So that's why I really love that game. And the Georges, if you're still in here, if you haven't played Banjo-Kazooie yet, I'm challenging you right now to go play that as part of your next My First Time. I want you to go play Banjo-Kazooie. I want you to play it for like a while and then chop up the best pieces. I want to see you play that game if you haven't done it yet. I'm not too sure. I've been so behind on catching up on people's videos. But Georges, if you have not done that, I'm challenging you to go do it. Like right now. I want to see you go do it. So there you go, buddy. That's it. There's your challenge. You accept it, man. It's on. Don't worry, Sonic fan. I still haven't forgotten about yours, but obviously I can't do it right now because all my stuff is in a box. But Georges, if you're watching, it's on. All right. Let's do one last question here. Let's take one more here just because we'll wrap her on up. Let's do one more. Clown and Merrick is in the stream. Clown, you're showing up at the last second, but it's okay because everyone, I want you all to say happy birthday to Clown and Merrick because it is Crimson Clown's birthday. You all will know him for being in my Zelda video as my co-preacher. So I want all of you to send him some love, say happy birthday. Because the man deserves it, man. He's one of my best friends, man. Happy birthday. I'd sing on stream, but, you know, I'd sing on stream, but I could get flagged because of happy birthday. So I don't want to do that. So let's do one more question. Let's get a good question. Let's get a good discussion going on this last question here. Let's get a good discussion. I want one good discussion here. Let's get one. Let's get one going, man. Oh man, you know what? I might have to buy more of this Red Bull. It's really underrated. I really like it. It's really growing on me here. I guess sidebar. I don't know if people can see it, but I got a new tattoo the other day. I got diamond with my friend's initials behind my ear, and I got like another one behind. Oh, there, and that just slammed right into my ear. So that was good. That was really good. Final Fighter Streets of Rage. You know what? Oh God, I'm just watching my review, and I did that terribly lining it up. But what was I gonna say? I guess I'm Team Streets of Rage. I didn't really play too much of either because like I never had Final Fight or Streets of Rage, but I guess I'd say Team Streets of Rage because I just liked it more. All right, one more. Let's get okay. That was a little short. I'm sorry. Let's give one more good discussion one. Talk about anything. Let's talk about any gaming topic. Any gaming. Let's get like a good gaming discussion going before we go off the air. Let's get one more in. Come on. I know we got one more in here. Let's get this guy. Yeah, like hey guys, don't feel shy, man. Throw out any question, any topic. We'll go off of it. It's cool. Well, we'll make this happen. No worries. Let's do one more. Oh, see, if Double Dragon was in there, Double Dragon would have instantly won. Like, no question. Double Dragon would have beat out all of them. That's not even no comparison. Double Dragon for the win. Like, straight up. Wow, it is so boiling in here. Guys, I'm going to have to, like, detox. Oh, do you think VR will catch on? Look at you. Look at you coming up clutch with that. Do you think VR will catch on by Sonic Fan? Thank you. That's a great closing question here. Oh, I just goofed up, but yeah, I had to fix that. You know what? VR is an interesting subject. I've talked about it before in my perspective video, but looking back at that video, I kind of just listed things that were just crazy about it, and I didn't really tackle the point of what I was talking about, and that was, is it a gimmick? Now, I still think that VR is a gimmick, but I'm going to explain a couple different reasons why I think it's a gimmick, and then this is also going to lead to if I think it'll catch on. Now, I don't like the idea of having that goddamn thing on your head, okay? First and foremost, I don't like the idea of say I'm sitting at home and I'm visiting my friends come over, right? And it's like, hey, we want a game. And I said, whatever, I'll get in like a quick VR session while I'm waiting. And they walk in, they see me, and I got that thing over my head. I'm looking like freaking, what's his name? I'm really going blinding here. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking on this. I'm looking like Cyclops. Sorry, I'm looking like Cyclops from X-Men, just like thing on my eye. I don't know why it took so long. I'm looking like this. My friends walk in. Hey, how's it going? And then I got to be plugged in. You need like a computer, like something super fancy, or you need like a PlayStation Neo to run it like really properly. Like, I don't like the appeal of that. I don't think that in order to game, I should have to wear something on my face. I think it just looks stupid. I am not a fan of that. And price points, like that was my big thing in price points. I'm like, it's too pricey to be like for a thing. But everything that just came out, of course, is obviously going to be pricey. But I just don't think that the future of gaming is headed to where we all have to wear headsets. That's just the biggest thing, is I don't think that we're all going to have to wear headsets. And the thing with VR is, like I said, you're going to need powerful computers and stuff to process it. Like, how long till a VR device is like capable of running on its own without a computer? Probably not until the next 2 to 3 to 4 years, right? Like, where your headset's just powerful enough. But at that time, is it still going to have caught on by not? I don't think so. Like, I don't want to play a thing where every video game that comes out is strictly for VR. Like, I don't know if, like, some adventure games and other simulators are going to be really cool like that. And VR is definitely going to catch on in other fields, but I don't want it to be a video game where I'm going to have to strictly be in that, like, perspective. I just want to sit at home and jump over some freaking potholes and Crash Bandicoot or Mario, man. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, yeah, my big argument, I don't think gaming's going to have catch on because you have to freaking wear it all the time. I don't think so. And okay, last one here, and I promise we're done after this one. Crimson Clown, do you think that the competitive nature of some games now is ruining gaming culture? Yes and no. I think that it's some competitive games have been ruining. I think, like, I know it's a really fence-sitting answer, but here's my point. There's some competitive games, and I find it's mostly with PC that it's kind of giving gaming a bad look. Not because of the games themselves. Like, this is nothing against the games themselves, but it's more of the stereotype and stuff with esports. Because there's a couple different stereotypes that have now been perpetuated because of esports and e-gaming. There's the fat, pimply face, like gamer thing sitting at his computer. The South Park meme with a fat dude like World of Warcraft, balding with glasses. There's that meme. And then there's the, oh yeah, get some. I play Call of Duty all day long. I got my Red Bull and woo, boys, here we go. Snipe, corner, flank, like hardcore people like that. There's that stereotype being perpetuated. And of course, people are going to like attribute that to the whole competitive gaming. But there is some competitive gaming, like there's some competitive gaming clicks, like I won't say clicks, competitive gaming games. Thank you. Captain Retro, what's up, buddy? I'm glad to see you here. Thank you. So I'm glad to see you here too. So there's some competitive like esports that are actually really exciting to watch. I love, for example, watching the Smash Bros tournaments. Those things are so freaking cool because it took a game that wasn't intended to be like crazy competitive, and players found a way to make it competitive, and that is freaking amazing. I love what they've done with that. Another big thing that I love watching is Rocket League, because I love playing Rocket League. So to see people play it at like a high competitive level and like excel at it is also really sick to see. I love watching that too. And I think it's just entertaining because it's like a sports game where it's kind of funny because like traditional soccer or football, depending on where you're from in the stream, is relatively a low scoring game unless you're watching Brazil and Germany, where it's like, oh, really? Oh, okay. All of a sudden it's 8-1. Like, insane. And some of the moves pulled off in Rocket League are just insane. But I don't think that the games themselves are ruining gaming culture. I think it's more the stereotypes that some gamers are perpetuating, and that the media is perpetuating that, oh, if you're good at a certain video game, you either look like this, the South Park meme thing, or you look like this, the competitive, oh boy, let's go, boys, like a Red Bull gamer. As you know, I have a gaming headset on and a PS4 and a Red Bull in my hand. Wow, I'm perpetuating a stereotype. I didn't even realize that. That's insane. But I think it is in some aspects, but it's not the games. But that's, I think gonna about wrap it up for right now, man. Unless you guys have any other questions here, I think we can end it on up. I want to thank everyone for coming out for the first episode of the ProducerGuyBroadcast, or PGB for short. I think I'm going to be doing this, if I'm not working, every Sunday, or if it's not Sundays, then every Mondays. Usually around this time, we'll get more topics. Get a weekend. We'll get more topics to talk about, and I think I really like this format. Before you guys leave, do you like this format where we have a couple main topics to talk about, and then we just kind of open the floor and everyone can just have their say? I think that truly works in the long run, and I think I like this kind of aspect that we got going on. So, you know what? I'll be around in the comments for a little bit. I appreciate all of you guys watching. Captain and Retro, Sonic fan, Captain and Retro, Sonic fan, Clown and Merrick, the Georges, Russ Lyman. I know you were in here. Scorpion Slayer, Retro Games, Vinyl and Beer. I think that's all of you guys that I've seen in the comments. Thank you all for checking this out, man. I appreciate it. So please, every Sunday or Monday, come check us out. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And I guess for now, all of you, stay classy. Stay classy. Cheers, guys. I'm out.